Hello guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to go over the NIST Special Publication 834 Revision 1 Contingency Planning Guide for Federal Information Systems. However, before we start, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow, and also do smash the like button and the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Thank you, and let's get started. What is Information System Contingency Planning, ISCP? Information System Contingency Planning is a set of well-crafted detailed action or plan businesses and organizations use to reduce the impact of unexpected events or disruptions. A contingency plan is a course of action designed to help an organization respond effectively to a significant future incident, event, or situation that may or may not happen. The three phases governing actions to be taken during system disruptions are: number one, you have to activate, or the notification phase. This phase describes the process of activating the plan based on outage impacts and notifying recovery personnel. The second phase is the recovery phase. This phase details a suggested course of action for recovery teams to restore system operation at an alternative site or using contingency capabilities. The third phase is the reconstitution. This phase includes activities to test and validate system capability and functionality and outline actions that can be taken to return the system to normal operating condition and prepare the system against future outages. Now let's look at the executive summary of the NIST Special Publication 834 Revision 1 Contingency Planning Guide for Federal Information Systems. Page 13 of the document, the executive summary. NIST Special Publication 834 Revision 1 Contingency Planning Guide for Information Systems provide instructions, recommendation, and consideration for Federal Information System Contingency Planning. Contingency planning refers to interim measures to recover system or to recover information systems service after a disruption. Interim measures may include relocation of information systems and operations to an alternate site, recovery of information system functions using alternate equipment, or performance of information system functions using manual method. This guide addresses specific contingency planning recommendations for three platform types and provides strategies and techniques common to all systems. So we're going to be looking at the client-server systems, the telecommunication systems, and the mainframe systems. Moving forward, it says, this guide defines the following 7-step contingency planning process that an organization may apply to develop and maintain a viable contingency planning program for their information systems. These 7 progressive steps are designed to be integrated into each stage of the system development life cycle. Number 1 of the 7 steps says, develop the contingency planning policy statement. A formal policy provides the authority and guidance necessary to develop an effective contingency plan. 2. Conduct the business impact analysis. The business impact analysis helps identify and prioritize information systems and components critical to supporting the organization's mission business processes. A template for developing the business impact analysis is provided to assist the user. Number 3, identify preventive controls. Measures taken to reduce the effects of system disruption can increase system availability and reduce contingency life cycle cost. Number 4, create contingency strategies. Thorough recovery strategies ensure that the system may be recovered quickly and effectively following a disruption. Number 5, develop an information system contingency plan. The contingency plan should contain detailed guidance and procedures for restoring a damaged system unique to the system security impact level and recovery requirements. Number 6, ensure plan testing, training, and exercise. Testing validates recovery capabilities, whereas training prepares recovery personnel for plan activation, and exercising the plan identifies planning gaps. Combined, the activities improve plan effectiveness and overall organization preparedness. Number 7, and the last one, says ensure plan maintenance. The plan should be a living document that is updated regularly to remain current with the system enhancement and organizational changes. This guide presents 3 sample formats for developing an information system contingency plan based on low, moderate, or high impact, as defined by the Federal Information Processing Standard, the FIPS 199 standard, for security categorization of federal information and information systems. Each format defines 3 phases that governs actions to be taken following a system disruption. Just like we saw, we have the activation and notification, the recovery, and the reconstitution. Some benefit of contingency planning. Some of the benefit of contingency planning includes, number 1, it saves time and money. When you know and plan your contingency plan ahead of time, it reduces your organizational downtime. Number 2, it saves lives. Sometimes system disruptions can be life-threatening, and having a well-planned contingency plan can help save lives. Number 3, it helps minimize damage. A potential damage-causing event can be reduced. And then number 4, we have it reduces recovery time. If every member of the contingency planning team knows what to do in the event of a disruption of a system, the system can be back online faster. Now, going back to the next documentation, the concepts presented in this document are specific to government systems, but may be used by private and commercial organizations, including contractor systems. So it means that this document can be used by anybody, even though it is made for the government system. Now, let's look at the appendices that are provided in this document. This document includes 9 appendices. Appendix A provides 3 sample information system contingency plan template based on the FIPS 199 impact level. So if your system is a low impact level, there is a template on how you develop your contingency plan. If your system is a moderate impact level, there's a template for you to use to create an information system contingency planning if need be. And likewise, if your system is a high system, there's a template for you if you have any assignment to come up with a contingency plan for your system. Appendix B represent or present a sample BIA, Business Impact Analysis template. If you have the need to develop or come up with a business impact analysis, Appendix B will be your template. Appendix C contains a list of frequently asked questions about the information system contingency plan. Problems relevant to planning for personnel consideration are discussed in Appendix D. And likewise, Appendix E provides a summary of NIST Special Publication 853 Contingency Planning Controls and Control Enhancement, whilst Appendix F explains the integration of contingency planning into an organization's SDLC, Software or System Development Life Cycle. Moving on. Contingency planning normally applies to information systems and provides the steps needed to recover the operation of all or part of designated information systems at an existing or new location in an emergency. In general, universally accepted definitions for information system contingency planning and the related planning areas have not been available. Occasionally, this leads to confusion regarding the actual scope and purpose of various types of plan. To provide a common basis of understanding regarding information system contingency planning, this section identifies several other types of plans and describes their purpose and scope relative to information system contingency planning. These are the other plans that we're going to be looking at. Business Continuity Plan, the BCP. The Business Continuity Plan focuses on sustaining an organization's mission business processes during and after a disruption. An example of a mission business process may be an organization's payroll process or customer service process. A business continuity plan may be written for mission business process within a single business unit or may address the entire organization's processes. The business continuity plan may also be scoped to address only the functions deemed to be a priority or deemed to be priorities. The second plan here described or talked about in this document is the continuity of operation plan. That is the COOP, right? The COOP focuses on restoring an organization's mission essential function, MEF, at an alternate site and performing those functions for up to 30 days before returning to normal operation. Minor threats or disruption that do not require relocation to an alternate site are typically not addressed in a COOP plan or continuity of operation plan. Federal directives distinguish COOP plans as a specific type of plan that should not be confused with Information System Contingency Plan, Disaster Recovery Plan, or the BCPs. Moving along, we have Crisis Communication Plan. What are these plans? Organizations should document standard procedure for internal and external communication in the event of a disruption using a crisis communication plan. We also have the Critical Infrastructure Protection Plan, which is the CIP. Critical infrastructure and key resources are those components of the national infrastructure that are deemed so vital that their loss would have a debilitating effect of the safety, security, economy, and the health of the United States. We also have the Cyber Incident Response Plan, just as we saw in the last video. The Cyber Incident Response Plan establishes procedures to address cyber attack against an organization's information system. We have the Disaster Recovery Plan, the DRP. The Disaster Recovery Plan applies to measure, usually physical disruption to service that deny access to the primary facility infrastructure for an extended period of time. Then we also have what we are talking about here today, which is the Information System Contingency Planning, the ISCP. And then also we have Occupant Emergency Plan, the OEP. The Occupant Emergency Plan outlines first response procedures for occupants of a facility in the event of a threat or incident to the health and safety of personnel, the environment, or property. Some other business processes protection plan, just as we just saw in the NIST documentation. This is the summary of this: business continuity plan, the continuity of operation, the crisis communication plan, critical infrastructure protection plan, cyber incident response plan, and the disaster recovery plan, and so on. So now let's look at information system contingency planning process, just as we saw in the document. There are 7 steps in the information system contingency planning process. Number 1, we have to develop the contingency planning policy, and then we conduct the business impact analysis, and then we identify preventive controls, and then we also have to create a contingency strategy, right? And then we do have to develop an information system contingency plan, then ensure the plan is tested. You conduct training on the plan, and then the exercises like the simulation exercises and so on. And then finally, we have ensure plan maintenance, because it's a living document. You have to make sure you review and update it all the time, yearly, 2 years, 3 years, whatever your policy or your company policy dictates, you follow that same guidance to update your document to make it a living document. There is no point of having a contingency plan that is sitting there gathering some dust and nobody is reviewing it, nobody is testing it, nobody is having any review of the document. Then that document will not serve its purpose in the event of a contingency, right? So definitely it's a living document. You always have to maintain it, review it, and then see that the plan is active and is reflective of the current situation in the organization. These are the 7 steps that, probably during the interview and stuff like that, when they ask you about, how do you come up with contingency planning? If you can memorize this and just list them, give it to them stepwise, I think that will go a long way to help in the interview process. Or you can better still refer to them to the document that, there's a 7-step to these processes. And when the need be, or if the need be, I can always refer to the document and I can just go through the 7-step to make sure I come with a viable contingency plan documentation. Now let's look at starting on page 73 of the document here, 834, the contingency planning. This will give you a template to follow. So appendix A here, sample information system contingency plan template. And again, this is based on the impact level. So for this, it's a low impact level system. If you ever have a need to come up with a contingency plan, you can always follow this template to come up with your organization or your system contingency planning, plan templates, or plan documentation, I should say. So the template provided are guides and may be customized. So you see, may be customized and adapted as necessary to best fit the system or organizational requirement for contingency planning. These are the templates. So first of all, you have your system name, of course, the security categorization. This is low, of course, this is low. And then we also have what organization's name, your organization name here. And then we have information system contingency plan. That's going to be the title of the document, the version, the date, prepared by, if it is an organization, the street name, city, state, and zip code. And then we have the table of content, right? So basically some of these things will be, like a standard, they are all standard. You just have to update certain things as you go. We have the background, scope, assumption, concept of operation, system description, overview of 3 phases, the 3 phases that we went over. Remember the activation, notification, recovery, and the reconstitution. And then we also have the roles and responsibilities. So again, activation, notification, you activate the activation criteria and the procedure, notification, outage, assessment. Then we have the recovery. What are the recovery? The sequence of recovery activities, recovery procedure, recovery escalation, notice, and awareness. We also have reconstitution, validate data testing, validate functionality testing, recovery declaration, notification of the users, cleanup, data backup, event documentation, deactivations, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the document here. You can actually, these are the template. You can actually update these templates to, customize it to suit your specific need. Here, the system name, definitely you're going to change this to your system. Everything here is so easy. You can just copy this same document, update your system name, your organization name, the system owner name, dates, and you come up with your contingency planning documentation. Of course, you might be asked to add certain things as you go here and there, diagrams, stuff like that, but those are all standard. You can get the diagram, network diagram, or whatever boundary diagram they want you to include in this document. You can equally add this as you go. And it's a simple and a straightforward, document that you can easily create when the need arises. Moving on, we have, let's look at this. Let me see. So now we also have on page 87, we have the sample template for a moderate system. Likewise, the same thing. Likewise, the impact level is a moderate, and then the same process. And then on page 103, we have a sample template for high impact system. And this exactly the security categorization here is high, and it follows the same process. Also, on page 119, we have sample business impact analysis. So this thing, they always work hand in hand, the contingency plan and the business impact analysis. So these are also the same thing. This sample template is designed to assist the user in performing a business impact analysis on an information system. The template is meant only as a basic guide and may not apply equally to all systems. The user may modify this template or the general BIA approach as required to best accommodate the specific system. In this template, words in italics are for guidance only and should be deleted from the final version. Regular non-italic text is intended to remain. So likewise, these are all the template that you can follow to create your own business impact analysis whenever the need arises. And then we also have the frequently asked questions. Right here, you can go, what is information system contingency planning? What are the difference among the continuity of operation, the COOP, a business continuity plan, and a critical infrastructure plan? These are all the questions that are frequently asked. What is the difference between mission business process supported by an information system and a COOP, mission essential function, right? So these are some of the things that, a lot of questions are being asked here, and then you see the explanation. What is the connection between the risk management framework and information system contingency plan? The risk management framework, RMF, encompasses a broad range of activities to identify, control, and mitigate risk to an information system during the system development lifecycle. One of the activities is the development of an information system contingency planning. Implementing the risk management framework can prevent or reduce the likelihood of natural, human, and environmental threats and limit the consequences of risk in the event of a system disruption. And then another question is, how do risk management and information system contingency planning fit into a resilience program? What is the first step I need to take before writing an information system contingency plan? These are all very, very important that you can go over, to address any question you might have, in your process to come up with any document that has a template in this document. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you find this video useful, do like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Please do comment below and let me know your thought on this video, and I will see you in the next video.